Yeah, so a culture shock, a big culture shock. I saw gothic people, like legit gothic people walking up and down the streets publicly in Ohio, particularly in Cincinnati. I haven't seen that since 2004. When was the last time you guys saw like legit gothic people? I don't even think they exist anymore. I would probably expect to see gothic clothes at a museum. It's been so long since I haven't seen that since high school. People with mohawks, and they're not bad looking. They're actually pretty good looking. I saw these 4 gothic girls over in Cincinnati. They look like the girls from the movie The Craft. You guys ever seen that movie about those girls from high school that get together and start doing like some witchcraft together, and they summon the devil or someone dies or something? I forget. It's a 90s reference. But anyways, yeah, so since there was nothing to do, but the culture shock was so big, I still wanted to continue exploring Ohio. And I ended up just going to a Reds game because I hear that the Cincinnati Reds have one of the best. I think it's called the American Ballpark. The ballpark is nice, but at the same time, it's a ballpark. That's the thing about sports fans. I love sports, all right? I don't want to trash the sports fans. I love watching sports, but the sports fans take it to a whole different, level. They bring up stats. They say, well, our ballpark is the best. And then when you compare the ballparks, it's the exact same thing. It's a ballpark. So I went to the American Ballpark, started watching the game. I enjoyed it. But then I kind of came across this mascot here called, what's his name? Mr. Redlegs. Look at the guy on the left. As a matter of fact, look at all these mascots that represent Cincinnati. So if this doesn't look like plain America, I don't know what to tell you. This is the #1 representation. As a matter of fact, the mascot represents the people of Ohio just right. They're plain. Their clothes are plain. They look like they're in a gang. I almost forget to mention, man, the people of Ohio, they kind of scary if you go to the wrong places. Well, first of all, I think the guy with the mustache is a stereotype of men with big heads and big mustaches. So I as a guy that used to have a mustache and a big head, I was immediately offended as soon as I saw that mascot walking up and down the ballpark. I was outraged. I almost walked out. I almost called customer service. I was actually going to look out for some Karens to see if I can have them on my side and back them up. Be like, excuse me, is your name Karen? How can I tell? The haircut. Listen, you see that guy walking up and down the ballpark? I used to have a mustache like that, and I have a big head. I'm very offended. Can you help me get in touch with customer service so I can complain about this? Oh, sure, sweetheart. I know exactly who to call from the ballpark. I know how to get to the CEO directly. All right, let's go. Come on. I got some sisters here. We're going to make this happen for you. Lots of Karens in Ohio. Okay, if you ever need to, file a complaint, that complaint is going to go far. So, yeah, Ohio's a weird place. The reason why I went to Ohio, I don't want you guys to think that I just went to Ohio to do a comedy show, all right? I got more class than that. I enjoy the finer things of life, all right? I just don't hop on a plane and fly on over to places like Ohio to do a comedy show in Dayton, okay? That's not my style. The reason why I went to Ohio was because a friend of mine, shout out to Brian Swinehart, which is a Midwestern comedian. He hired me and he said, hey, why don't you come up to the Midwest? And it's a good thing I knew him because if some random Midwestern comedian were to tell me to come up to the Midwest to see him and I don't know who he is, I think it's a setup. Because if you go to the back roads of Ohio, in any city of Ohio, every city of Ohio has a back roads. You got the main city, and then once you start going around the city, it's almost like a wonderland of racism. You got beautiful trees and flowers and dogs running around freely. There's these hills and fields. And then if you look closely into the windows of the homes of the area, they all got F Biden flags. And they've got this one called Don't Tread on Me, which is a snake all coiled up. If you guys have ever seen a home with a Don't Tread on Me flag, that is a sure sign that if any kind of burglary or break-in were to occur in that home, that will be your last day on this earth. I was actually talking to my friend about this. Like, you see that flag right there? Don't tread on me. If I were to explain it in the most basic sense, means don't mess with my freedom or you gonna get shot. If you see a Don't Tread on Me flag, just know that the person is very serious about the way they live. You can't tell them nothing. If you ever feel suicidal, you don't want to hang yourself or jump out a window, break into a home that has a Don't Tread on Me flag. It'll be quick, okay? And you'll go out with a bang, wink, wink. That person will probably come out of the toilet like Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Bah! Done. One and done. Even the FBI detectives or whoever shows up to the crime scene would be like, all right, what do we got here? We got a bullet wound to the head. This guy broke into a home that says, "Don't tread on me." Oh man, this was obviously a suicidal person. There's no way. Why would this person do this to himself? Like, the ending of Scarface would make a lot more sense in a place like Miami, Ohio, because it would just end up being about some guy standing his ground. People just breaking into his home and he's just there shooting with his pajamas on or something, and a "Don't tread on me" flag in the background. It'll be quite cinematic.